My mind is blown. This changes everything. I don't think you're going to see intelligence the same way again after that. So many times in my life, I have felt like my ADHD is holding me back from my potential. And it's really, really common that we end up thinking that we're dumb, lazy, or broken. But what if I told you that there were 3 game-changing insights that not only prove promising intellect for people with ADHD, but also a secret, unique advantage that should annihilate any doubts you ever have about your intellect ever again? Yes, I'm talking about people like us with ADHD, where we leave the laundry in the dryer for way too long and we lose our keys. Oh my gosh. Now here's where it gets interesting. Dr. Russell Barkley, one of the world's top ADHD specialists, highlights that people with ADHD can have a wide range of intellectual abilities. However, our potential in life and IQ tests are often highly influenced by our ability to manage our ADHD symptoms and the support and training we receive. Based on IQ tests, you wouldn't think that we're any different than the neurotypical, aside from kids with ADHD struggling to focus, affecting their IQ test maybe 10, 15 points. But the IQ test isn't really testing you the same way you think it is. And the IQ test does test your innate intelligence. However, there's also something game-changing that can be useful for people with ADHD that the IQ test also looks at, and that is your executive skills. Now, why is that such a big deal for people with ADHD? You see, a whopping 40% of the IQ test is on executive functioning, so we kind of struggle with that. But hold up, that means the IQ test doesn't exactly match how intelligent you are, but also your cognitive ability. So if you just learned how to manage your executive functioning, you'd score a lot higher on the test. But that's nothing compared to this next reason. Because the average neurodiverse person has a very rare card up our sleeve, and it gives us an enormous advantage that neurotypical people have to work extra hard for that is natural in us. Now, whether you have ADHD or not, we all have advantages and disadvantages. But what's interesting with people with ADHD is that most of us have the same exact advantages. The average person with ADHD experiences heightened abilities and talents like creativity, like innovating, thinking, and approaching problems from unconventional angles, hyperfocusing, having exceptional achievements, and countless hours of concentration on tasks of interest where most would have previously burnt out, risk-taking, like being bold or unconventional in their approaches, which can be advantageous in entrepreneurship and leadership, problem-solving, having non-linear thinking with potential to lead in innovative solutions and creative problem-solving strategies, and resilience, developing strong coping strategies, adaptability, and incredible growth. And these are all things that come naturally to us, like we're all related or something. Now, if you don't believe that any of these things are evidence that you can achieve incredible things, I'm about to prove to you that you have so much more potential than you could possibly imagine. Because here's number 3. We're open to other forms of intelligence. There's more than one? There's a lot more than one. In fact, I'm not just going to tell you what they are, I'm going to prove it to you. Everyone I'm about to name to you has been speculated to have ADHD, and they are intelligent in each of these areas. Linguistic intelligence. This is where you're great at speaking, reading, and writing. Examples would be Stephen King, James Joyce, and J.K. Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter. Not worthy! Logical mathematical intelligence. This is where you're great at problem solving with numbers. People like Albert Einstein and even Satoshi Nakamoto. Doesn't sound familiar? Yeah, it's because he's a pseudo-anonymous creator of Bitcoin. Dude had ADHD and created Bitcoin. What's my excuse? Then we have spatial intelligence. This is where you're skilled in visualizing and working with space and shapes. People like Leonardo da Vinci, the artist and inventor known for his innovative visual arts and engineering designs. Steve Jobs, he had unconventional approaches to creation and problem solving for the entire world. And Michelangelo, the world famous artist who painted the Sistine Chapel. All of them were speculated to have ADHD. Musical intelligence. This is where you're talented in creating and understanding music. Like this kid right here is brilliant. But there's other famous examples like Beethoven. Yes, Beethoven was speculated to have ADHD. Not to mention Adam Levine of Maroon 5 and Elton John. Okay, that'd be a really cool band. Just saying. Elton John, Maroon 5, and Beethoven. Then you have bodily kinesthetic intelligence. This is where you're excellent in physical coordination and hands-on activities. People like Michael Jordan, not to mention Serena Williams and Michael Phelps. Interpersonal intelligence, where you're skilled in self-awareness and understanding on one's own emotions. People like Mel Robbins and Arianna Huffington, and my personal favorite, Jim Carrey, where he claims that his ADHD traits fuel his exceptional creativity and dynamic comedic style, including his energetic performances and innovative physical comedy. Then we have interpersonal intelligence, where you're good at understanding and interacting with others, like Nelson Mandela, Richard Branson the billionaire, and Tony Robbins, also a billionaire. And lastly, we have naturalistic intelligence, where you're strong in recognizing patterns in nature and the environment. People like Bear Grylls and Steve Irwin, the wildlife expert and television personality known for his work in wildlife conservation and education. So though IQ is very important, it has very little to do with your potential to change the world and only one form of intelligence. And here's the last crucial point I want to give you. If you ever feel like your ADHD is holding you back or that the odds are against you before you even start, I know I've been there. Don't believe it, because the truth is, if you have ADHD, the majority of your future is going to depend highly on your abilities. Fortunately for you, there is an incredible, empathetic, hyper-focused, problem-solving, world-changing leader waiting inside of you right now that is more than capable to live their best life and change the world for the better. And that's exactly where you shine most. Now, if you want to 2 to 5x your productivity, click the link in the description below where you can talk to me, where I train my clients to become executive functioning masters. I'm Nick McLaughlin, ADHD coach with ADHD. Better neighbors.